Hello viewers, in this virtual video we're going to use the Professor Po-Shen Low method of solving quadratic equation to show that z is equals to the square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So that is what we're going to look at in this class. Okay, here Professor Low, adopted a new method of resolving quadratic equations, which is the average method. Okay, here he established the fact that, for instance, it is possible, to solve a quadratic equation with the average method. Okay, the first thing we have to do, for instance, we know that in a quadratic equation, usually we have two roots, and he said that once on this side this is negative, and here this is positive, and if we should to say that where the curve crosses the x-axis as one of the root, I will assume is minus z. On this side is negative, and on this other side it will be positive, which is just z. Then it is possible that we can obtain the root by the sum of the root, alpha plus beta, which is minus b over a, and the approach of the sum of the root, the product of the root, which is c over a. Okay, what is trying to say here, establish here, is that the first thing you do here is to look at this root, or the sum of the root, and you take the average. You take the average. So by taking the average of this, it simply means alpha plus beta. If we take the average, it's going to give us minus b over 2a. That is the average. Okay, that is the sum of the root. Now, if we are going to obtain this root, it simply means that this root here, this z, is just a distance in this approach. So here we are going to say this is a minus z, and this is the average of the root. I will put it here on this side as minus, we add it to it, minus b over 2a, then open bracket. On this side we have a z, which is plus, we add this average to it, minus b over 2a. Okay, these are the two roots. These are the two possible roots. These are the two possible roots. It's either we're having z minus b over 2a, and minus z minus b over 2a. So what, by the time you add this average to the value of minus z here, it will going to give you one of the roots. Then if you have the average of the root to the value of z here, it's going to give you the other root. Okay, now that is for the sum of the root. Assuming we are looking for the product of the root, this whole thing, these whole terms are the root, the first root and the second root. Then the product of root, that means here, if we are looking for the product of the root, is definitely going to be alpha plus alpha beta is equals to c over a, and alpha is one of the root. Let's assume that alpha, this is alpha, and the other one is this is beta. So the product is this. So we say minus z minus b over 2a. We close the bracket, and on the other side we have z minus b all over 2a is equal to c over a. So in this class, what we're trying to do, we're going to establish the expression for z. That's what we're trying to do here. So here, what we simply do here is that we are saying that minus z is going to multiply z minus b over 2a, then minus b over 2a is definitely going to multiply z minus b all over 2a is equal to c over a. Okay, here minus z times z, that will give us minus z squared minus z times minus b over 2a, that will give us plus b z over 2a. Then we come to this expression minus b over 2a times plus z, that will give us minus b z over 2a, and minus b over 2a times minus b over 2a, that will give us plus b squared, b times a, b squared, then 2a times 2a, that will give us 4a squared is equal to c all over a. Okay, we can see this term here, bz over 2a minus bz over 2a, they are off. And who will be left? We'll be left with minus z squared plus b squared over 4a squared is equal to c over a. Okay, c over a. Right? Then the next step here, because we are looking for z, we want to show that z is this expression. Now this is minus here. This minus z we move this way, and y c over a we move to the left hand side. This is minus, as it's going to this way become plus. This is plus, as it's coming this way become minus. So that we have here we have a b square over 4a square minus c over a is equal to z square. Here we can see that b square over 4a square minus c over a is a fraction, and the LCM for this fraction is 4a square. So 4a square divided 4a square is 1. 1 times b square is b square. Then we have a minus here. Here we have a 4a square times 4a square divide a, that will give us 4a. 4a square divide a, that will just give us 4a, and the 4a multiplies c will give us minus 4ac is equals to z squared. Okay, right? The next step is for us to say we take the square root of both sides, because we want to get rid of the z here. We want to get rid of z, and what we need to do is say take the square root of both sides. In this case, z is just a distance. It doesn't have to give us two value of plus or minus. It's a distance here from the graph. The z is just a distance here. Z is just a distance. So here, this one, there's no negative in this aspect. So we say take the square root of both sides, so that your z will become a square root that will cover everything here, b square minus 4ac all over 4a square. And if you look at the denominator, the square root of 4a square is 2a, so that our z will become b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So we can see that the value, the expression for z is b square minus 4ac all over 2a, using the Professor Po-Shen Low approach. So once you are able to obtain the value of z here, once you are able to obtain the value of z, this is the expression for z in the quadratic equation. Once you're able to do this, know this offhand, and you know that the other root is minus the other aspect, the average of the root is minus b over 2a. Once you calculate this expression, and you want to get one of the roots here, you multiply it by minus z by minus, add this term to it, that is one of the root. Then the other root will be z minus b over 2a. So the positive value of z, you add it to minus b over 2a, and that will give you the other root. Another thing that we have to note here is that here we said that the average, that is the average of alpha of the sum of the root is minus b over 2a. This average, dividing it by 2, is also the equation of symmetry. So that is where, when you say average, 2 equal parts, when the graph is 2 equal parts. So this is the formula for it. So this, the equation of line of symmetry is minus b over 2a. So this is where we stop for here. We have shown that z is equal to b squared, square root of b squared minus 4 is all over 2a. So if you make some comparison, you see that this approach is also similar to that of completing the square. Please, all you help me do, subscribe, help me subscribe, and also share out to other platforms. Have a nice time.